right, here we go. Episode 99 of the Wait for It Seattle podcast at C-Town Sports. It's Brian and Kevin back with you again.
Yeah. Should I just tell our listeners that the city of Renton invited us to do a live podcast and we just couldn't pull it off because of scheduling? Would have been really cool though for episode 100.
That would have been cool. We also don't have equipment to really do a live podcast.
And I started to get anxiety about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we would need a producer. Like, how do we get a producer? Yeah. Like, there's all these things that were floating through my head of like, oh my God, JJ has a poop that I need to clean up. So does Luca. Yeah, I don't know if your sons were ever close enough in age for you to get the double cry and, you're driving and they're both.
They double cry now. They're 16 and 13, so not really.
Oh,
but
God.
yes, we had that. They're 3 years apart. We definitely had that.
Oh, the double cry, man.
Kev, episode 99, I guess, is the Leonard Williams episode. He's quickly becoming a favorite of mine.
Do you like that he's a nerd?
I love everything about Leonard Williams. Like his TikTok that I saw about him like spearfishing or whatever he's doing in the off season. Yeah, Leonard Williams is awesome. Another defensive tackle for the Seahawks who once wore 99, just so you know, Kev, I think you would be interested in this. Cortez Kennedy. I've worn the jersey on the podcast.
Oh,
he was number 96. That everybody knows him as 96, but his rookie year he wore 99.
That's amazing.
So if you have a 99 Kennedy jersey, that's like a rare item, right? That would be something that I've never seen it before. So somebody has to have it. But
you know what else?
Cool.
99. What I think of 99, I think of every sports video game with the player ratings of a 99. They never give out 100, but there would be sometimes a 99 overall.
I think of Ricky Vaughn in Major League, but you've never seen that movie, so.
God, Ricky Vaughn, who's that?
Yeah, well, this is your problem. You've never seen any good sports movies. But we'll save that for another day. Coming up on the podcast today, we're going to lead off by taking some piggies to the market. And then we're going to talk about some big Kraken news. We're also going to, I want to make sure I get this all. We got to talk about Seattle and the World Cup. And then I wanted to introduce a new segment because the Seahawks are awesome. Like Seattle Sports Legend of the Week.
Love it.
Yeah. And then we'll do top fives. You probably don't have one, but I have one for you. So.
Oh, man. I need to.
Oh, boy. Maybe we'll just do the one I have and we'll see how it goes.
That'll work.
And maybe you can Google quickly some trivia, but
no, I want to
kick
be accurate.
It off.
Why would I ever do that? It's not like I've never done that before.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm gonna mix my sports analogy or metaphors. I don't know, my sports examples. We're gonna kick off with the leadoff, and the leadoff today. I feel like we need like a soundboard. Be like, it's time for the leadoff, and then it's like,
this is why we need a producer.
The leadoff.
Yeah, those
or it's
are
like
so
just
lame.
Clips of Ricky Henderson and Vince Coleman like stealing bases or something.
I'm sure we have enough audio by now of us saying ridiculous things where we could create, how radio shows do the montage of like all the hot takes. Or, we could do that.
We have enough hot takes that people don't like on TikTok. It's great. But speaking of the people and what they don't like, Kev, this little piggy went to the market. This little piggy went home. This little piggy was in a piggyback that no one in Seattle enjoyed whatsoever. That's my leadoff. The Mariners have decided that the piggyback is back. So I don't remember if we talked about this last time or not, but we need to address it because the Mariners have 2.5 weeks until the All-Star break, something like that. And they've decided to do 3 different versions of the piggyback option. The first of which was Bryce Miller and Luis Castillo again. And Bryce Miller's awesome and Luis Castillo's not, and it failed. And that was this weekend. We don't know when the other two are coming, but theoretically, all the pitchers agreed to do some version of a piggyback. So we're going to get Hancock, Wu, Gilbert, and Kirby involved in a piggyback sometime over the next 2.5 weeks. And I don't like it.
So I was listening to a Jared Dipoto interview with Jason Stark this morning while I was folding clothes, enjoying my eve of my last day of leave. Leave eve? Is that what it's called?
Leave eve. I like that.
Yeah. Leave eve. And the way Dipoto was talking about it, and people have maybe heard Justin Hollander talk about it. Maybe you've read the Adam Jude articles about this. Or Divish, I know, has done some reporting on this. But the piggyback origin is something that they do in the minor leagues. Like, this is something that they deploy to keep arms fresh. Like, for example, if there's a guy coming out of especially intense college schedule and then rolls right into the minor leagues, like, you don't want to pitch his arm off, so you do this like piggyback thing. And so, there's kind of this argument, I guess, from the Mariners front office that this isn't something new. Like, we're innovating here, but like, this is something that everyone's agreed to. Like, it's a good problem to have. It keeps arms healthy and rolling. But the central issue with it is exactly what you just said. If a guy is rolling, and then you take him out because you have this preset plan, then it doesn't make any sense, because you're just following the sake of a plan to follow the sake of a plan, and not putting winning as the main priority, which is the ultimate goal of this all.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what's frustrating about the piggyback situation. Like, I think in theory, and I think everyone would agree, like, even if you look at the numbers, right, with Castillo and Miller when they were doing it, the numbers are great, but that doesn't take away from the practical problem is when a guy is rolling, you just take him out and then you risk losing, right? It's just not the same as throwing in high leverage bullpen arms. It's a totally different thing.
So I think, you totally hit it. And the challenge, let me go back to what you first said. Sorry. My mind was going in 10 different directions. So the positives of it, I read Seattle Times today. There's an article talking about how all pitchers agreed. And as they all agreed, certainly you reduce the strain on your arm and the pitch count and all that stuff. But Logan Gilbert had a quote basically saying, because they have 6 starters, they have 1 less bullpen guy. So when they do a piggyback start, because it's predetermined, they save a bullpen arm because they're just going 2 starters. They're not using the bullpen at all.
Yeah.
I think that's
so the
good
bullpen benefits too, right?
Yeah,
so that's kind of the point
for this piggyback start. Like, they all get a rest day. I just don't think sports are played that way, where you can just script it in a way that works that way. Like, I think about football when they script the first 15 plays and then you throw a pick 6. Like, that really throws off your options, right? Or if you score on the second play, like, I don't know that you should stick to those 15 plays the same exact way. And I don't think baseball works that way. You might need to use Munoz if you have a 2-run lead instead of Castillo for his 3rd inning or whatever it is. So I don't love the pre-scripted part. It feels more like fantasy baseball than real baseball.
Would you be more open to, and I don't know if this is possible, but like you were saying, giving the flexibility of, like, let's say Bryce Miller has a no-hitter going into the 6th inning, that you keep him in, right? Like a situation
certainly,
like
but I don't think then that becomes a piggyback, right? Because what they've basically done is guarantee these pitchers to have a certain pitch count to keep up. I think the best argument for doing this and for keeping Castillo in the rotation, because he seems like the one who would leave the rotation based on numbers and everything, is that we've talked about this before on this podcast. He's making $27 million next year, and I believe he has a vesting option the year after that. So, and this was on the radio today. This is not a new insight, but who's paying for a $27 million reliever if they want to trade him? Because they have Cade Anderson, they have Ryan Sloan, right? So who's trading for Luis Castillo at that price tag? Anyway, he may not even be tradable, to be honest. But it feels, to go back to your point, like, are we really prioritizing winning? Are we prioritizing sort of future possibilities of what it could be? Like, we might be able to trade Castillo, so this happens. It's the same argument that people are getting so frustrated on Twitter about Rob Refsnyder, who seems like a great guy, but Rob Refsnyder is bad at baseball right now. And we paid him $6 million, which theoretically is a sunk cost, but, you know, why aren't they waiving him? Why aren't they getting rid of him? Why aren't they doing something different?
Do you think
they just
part of
playing
it is
Canzone and Rayleigh?
Do you think part of it is, though, that the Mariners, and this is something that Dipoto said, like, he acknowledged, like, the American League is, quote, competitive.
Yeah.
Which is him basically saying, like, it's wide open besides the Yankees. And I think he said the Rays.
The Rays, they're both
the Yankees
good,
and the Rays.
Record-wise,
So that the Mariners can basically afford to, one, experiment with
like
this
tread water, basically
thing, and number two, that they can afford to hold out hope that Refsnyder will magically, like, hit above 200, right? Like, I don't know, like, there's no other explanation for why they're doing this. Like, I think that's kind of it, right? That they can afford to do it, that they're not in panic mode yet. But it's like you said, like, if you're treading water, like, you're really close to actually being in panic mode. And they were in panic mode like a month ago.
Yeah. I think the Refsnyder part, there's two things. I mean, I'm going to talk out both sides of my mouth here a little bit, because it does seem ridiculous. My argument is what many people have said on Twitter. Why are they batting him fifth or first if he's going to play? And why are they playing him so much? Like, just play Robles, play Canzone or Rayleigh against lefties. Because often a right-handed reliever comes in anyway later in the game, right? Just Rob is struggling, right? And I think their argument for why they keep rolling him out is they have Connor Joe on the roster also. Like, they don't have another option for a right-handed bat right now. And then second, I think the $6 million is real. And so whatever part of that salary they've already paid, every week and every month that they pay it gets it easier to probably trade, because somebody might want him and think he was so good in Boston hitting lefties that they could get, whatever for him, but nobody wants him at the $3 million left on his contract. And I think it's funny when all these people, and this kind of segues in the next part, like, there's a lot of angry Twitter users in the Mariner sphere right now, including our
friend
own
Mariner Muse
guest Mariner Muse, who's just like losing his mind on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I just think it's funny that these people have this, like, approach that I don't think they would have in their own lives. Right? So let's pretend you're running a business for your boss, right? You're the general manager, and you made a $6 million investment in that business, and it's going really bad, and you still owe $3 million on it. And you just go to your boss and say, like, I'm just going to pull the plug and just waste the next $3 million. Like, your boss is not going to be okay with that. They're like, I gave you $6 million to use for this, right? And I understand that sports are different, but I think it's run like a business. Like, the argument is, we're going to see if it works out. This is the money you were able to spend. You just roll with it.
And I'll just add a layer. Like, my whole profession is about evaluating risk. It's not necessarily, you don't know what a judge is going to say. Like, you can guess, and you can look at the data, and you can make a best educated guess, and clients will pay money for your best educated guess, but you're always telling them there's no guarantees. And I think that's the same thing, is the front office, this Mariners front office, is evaluating kind of like the worst option. Like you're
Right.
evaluating you're always evaluating imperfect options. And I think maybe this is a part of what you're saying is that I think there is a level of oversimplification.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's not black and white. Like they're obviously they're operating in a sea of gray.
This is what our friend Mariner Muse was like. Josh Naylor is tanking, like he's trying to be bad. Is basically what his tweet said. Yeah, and I think that's silly. Like Josh Naylor is not trying to be bad. And angry Mariners fan is my other one that I keep saying. They're like the Mariners
I was close to blocking them.
Yeah, the Mariners are trying to lose. No, they're not. They're trying to win. You can disagree with the process, but like to imply that Josh Naylor is taking in the money and running and like not trying and the Mariners are not trying to win is just a silly argument to me. I just don't think that's true. Are there sports franchises that don't care about winning? And could it be that the Mariners ownership has been in that boat? Absolutely. I don't believe Justin Hollander and Jerry Dipoto don't want to win. I believe that we could have disagreements on their process. So with that said, let's go back to Rob Refsnyder. He should not be playing in the lineup. I would rather see Ken Zone. In fact, I would rather Johnny Pareda be up and Mitch Garver take those DH plate appearances. I would rather Rob Refsnyder, if he's playing, bat eighth. Not first or fifth. I could totally disagree with all that. Unless you tell me there's somebody in AAA who's ready to take Rob Refsnyder's at bats, which there aren't unless it's Johnny Pareda coming up, then there's probably not a better option right now to have on your roster. Could you do it differently? Absolutely. Should you have benched JP Crawford on Saturday, who's been really good at third base and gets on base? Probably not. But we don't know. Crawford could be banged up. He's coming off the injured list. They wanted to give him a rest day. All those things are happening, and our Mariners Twitter is acting like they know the truth of all these things. And like, yep, Josh Naylor's just phoning it in, took his money and ran. We loved Josh Naylor 5 months ago. Do you think really he doesn't care anymore? Like, I just don't fall into that category. I think it's extreme and stupid to do that.
Yeah,
so
I think things are going to get really. Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
No, you got it.
I think
jump in.
Things get really interesting here in mid-July, like when Brendan Donovan. I think when Brendan Donovan comes back, I think Snyder's gone. Refsnyder's gone. But we said that last time when Cal Raleigh came back, that like he'd be gone, and he's still here. Like,
I mean, there's a chance Rob Refsnyder's not on the plane to Pittsburgh, and by the time people listen to this, he's not playing in Pittsburgh. There's a chance he's been that bad. Or Connor Joe could be sent down. I just don't know who's coming up to take those plate appearances, right? Like they don't. I guess Ryan Bliss. I mean, I'd rather have Ryan Bliss in the lineup, to be honest. It just doesn't work out positionally. They don't have the guys necessarily to do that. They're a little bit of a flawed roster, but they're also I fully expect them to be good soon. So I don't know. The Mariners are frustrating. We're like many other people on social media, frustrated by them. We're just not as crazy as everybody else, Kev.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh man. Yeah. God.
But if we could stop piggybacking, that'd be great.
That was our leadoff. Yeah. What a leadoff.
All right. Maybe what should have led off is just talking about the city of Seattle, your hometown, my hometown. Yeah. Although technically I was born in Shoreline.
Yeah.
But the city of Seattle is having a month.
There's just, the
vibes are immaculate.
Yeah.
All the Seattle is dying Como news stories and whatever, and all this worry, like it's really having a PR spin now the other way with the World Cup. So,
I mean, you went on Tuesday, and then people
Australia. Yeah. Go ahead.
Can we talk about your clip that like 18,000 people watched?
Love it.
And were like chiming in with their own comments on how to get to the game, like how to take the light rail. I thought it was the things that go viral, always fascinating. It was the most wholesome thing. You telling our listeners you took the light rail.
Literally how to get to the game. Talking about staying at my mom's house and 18,000 people are liking it and 300 people are sharing it or whatever it was. Well, Australia came to the U.S. after we had our podcast. And that was our purpose for talking about it. It's like, hey, this is a big game. And I think it exceeded expectations. And people's expectations were really high. I mean, the pregame show, the reaction to the second goal when the referee goes after VAR and he just goes in the mic and says, after review, the player was not offsides. And then the stadium erupts. I've watched that clip like 10 times.
They call them stadium pops. I think it's like the crowd pops.
Yeah, it was a crowd pop.
Awesome.
I mean, the announcer, I think it's I can't remember who does the play-by-play for all the U.S. games, but he was basically like, the stadium is shaking. It was on the seismic, scale, whatever. Yeah. And honestly, there's Seattle fans there, but it's a lot of out-of-town fans. It's just like, it's a great stadium, as we talked about. The weather was immaculate. The pregame show's on the pier. Marshawn's on the pregame show.
Marshawn marching.
Yeah,
people
Marshawn marching. And the Men in Blazers podcast came.
Yeah, so that was the other thing that gave me anxiety when I saw the Men in Blazers podcast. I know that not 1 million people were going to show up in the city of Renton, but like, that's a live podcast, right?
You were stressed that people were going to expect something like the Men in Blazers podcast.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch marching in, and then they had the pregame show, and it was basically college game day.
Yeah.
And that's the reaction on social media about explaining like, this is like US soccer culture. And I thought the best point that was made was that US soccer culture should stop trying to be whatever European soccer culture is. Right. And to me, I think of like the chance, and some of it's just like part of the game. And, this might be sacrilegious for me to talk about this, but like, there's things from around the world that the U.S. adopts and tries to implement in its own soccer culture. But what really makes U.S. soccer culture is like the stuff that you can't see anywhere else. And so one of the things was like, we're used to having like the college game day atmosphere and seeing it on TV, and that whole entrance near Lumen Field where you were talking about
Seattle Stadium.
Yeah, there's not much to do at Seattle Stadium before this, whatever the match was last Tuesday. And then they had the pregame. This is a little different. They have the pregame out there, and there's just like sea of people, like bigger than what you'd see at a college game day set. Absolutely amazing.
Also, my wife has sent me TikToks and Instagram reels since I podcasted and said there was nothing to do. And she's like, here's all the things we missed that we could have been doing. Like friendship bracelets and flags you could pick up at the Coke station. So there is more than I thought, but apparently I failed.
The other thing that I thought was interesting, and I would want to get your take on this, was just like this argument that the FIFA World Cup should always be in North America, because where else do you get all these stadiums with this type of seating capacity? Like you don't. There's no, like in Qatar they had to build stadiums. Like we already have these stadiums.
Very controversial to build. Those stadiums.
How they built those stadiums, right? Like these were ethically built. I hope ethically built.
Well, they were built a long time ago. Yeah, they already exist, as you said. I mean, the travel's worse here, right? Like, I mean, that's a real thing. I was at Gonzaga University this week in Egypt. That's their home. Saw Egypt loading on buses while I was coaching
so they're
high
just
school basketball.
Traveling out of Spokane to wherever they're playing.
They practice
and then
at Gonzaga.
Go back to Spokane.
They definitely are not staying in the dorms I had to stay in for basketball team camp.
Yeah.
I did have a vision, like, what if I went into my dorm for, we were there for a high school girls basketball team camp, right?
Yeah.
They have a men's dorm for all the men's coaches. But what if I went to my dorm room, and you know how when you are a freshman, sometimes they make you like handmade signs like "Welcome Brian," right, or whatever.
Yeah.
And what if it was like "Welcome Brian," and then it was like "Welcome Mo," and it was Mo Salah, and we were sharing a dorm room. But it didn't happen. I think they were staying probably at a very nice hotel. I was in, no offense to Gonzaga, I was in really bad dorm room. But I don't know that. I think it's a little
presumptuous,
cocky, to like say
arrogant.
we should have it all the time. It's just kind of silly.
It's such an
I do
American
think the
thing.
Canada, Mexico, USA, like it's not terrible to like share it there. Certainly you could travel better if you ever have it in Europe, but it doesn't seem like it's ever in Europe, right? The next one I believe is in Brazil.
I think the fans at least, are having a grand old time.
And if you need something to do tonight, go on TikTok and just start searching for like the Tartan Army, which is Scotland's fan base in Boston. It's phenomenal. They drank all the beer in Boston. They like emptied bars, Kev. There's all these news clips of bars running out of beer. They went to a Red Sox game. It was awesome. They just took over the town, and all these people, not all these people, but some fans on TikTok are like, I don't want to go home. Like, I'm having so much fun. It's also beautiful in a lot of these cities, including Seattle right now. Like, it's a great time to be here when it's 75 and sunny. It's not always that way. So, but you're right. It's having a great showing, and Seattle is just, for all the people, for all the dooms people who want to say Seattle is dying, and all these crazy Twitter followers who just want to highlight all these things about Seattle. It's not going well for them. So
some of my favorite clips were, and I sent you quite a few. But were Europeans in like the South. Experiencing
having like
all
Raising
food.
Cane's for the first time, or Waffle House. Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
Have you heard of Buc-ee's?
Yeah. Oh, it's a big deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So there was a group of fans that went into Buc-ee's, and they're filming the reaction, like all these things in this one gas station, which is really like a Walmart, right?
Right.
There's also clips of people going into Walmart and Target, but like going into Buc-ee's for the first time. And honestly, I was watching that. I was like, that was my reaction coming from Seattle. Walking into
Buc-ee's is
like,
wild. Yeah. Like, I agree. This is not an international thing, or it is. It's for all of us.
Yeah.
Buc-ee's is, I haven't even been to one. I've just heard about it from people, and it is wild.
That's when people tell me about like it's, and I lived in Spain for a bit, and like traveling internationally, like everyone should do it. It's all great. Like you need to experience different cultures. But one of the beautiful things about the United States of America is that every state has its own culture. And I think a European was saying like every state has its own food. Like this is
true.
awesome. Like every place I go, everywhere I watch my country play, there's like new types of food to try. It's like,
so speaking of that, Kev, here's a restaurant that's old school that's been in my social media feed at least doing well. So an Australian fan, Australian fan and a Belgium fan, I think both reviewed Ivar's.
Oh wow.
And they love it. Like they're like, this is great fish and chips, chowder's good, and honestly, Ivar's is really solid. It's good. When you live in Seattle and you try other things, and there's different places. But if I want like standard fish and chips with a cup of clam chowder, going to Ivar's, because Skipper's is no longer around, and that was my childhood.
Spuds? Isn't Spuds one
Spuds
in
West Seattle? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, no offense, Spuds.
Not Ivar's.
I like Ivar's. Yeah. And the one on the water, I mean, even though there's like birds that swoop on you and stuff, you're down on the waterfront. You can go to Simply Seattle down there. They should really sponsor us. Simply Seattle would be a great sponsor. You got all kinds of stuff down there on the waterfront, right? But Ivar's having the World Cup's helping. I would say one of the cool things for Seattle, to wrap it up, is, and I said this when we went down there, but there's some articles now coming out about all these businesses are just getting incredible amounts of customers from the World Cup. Down in Pioneer Square, and local businesses, and Ivar's would be one of them. Right? But they're just having a great month. We went by
another local business.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
I'll tell you. The Seattle Sounders, as a local business, the MLS players that experienced that were telling, at least a couple of them, it was reported, were telling Christian Roldan, like, this is amazing. Like, Seattle's amazing. And I'm sure MLS players know that Seattle's like a dope like place to play, but like this kind of confirms like this is like the peak of what it could be.
You know, you even
right?
think about like the teams that get to play here as their international players get older.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Sounders are in that boat to go get that older international player. They've done
that before.
They were they don't feel like
begging for Messi, not them, but like the Seattle Sports Commission put out a post. Like,
Kev, Messi's in a different level. He has 5 goals in the World Cup right now at age 40. Not all the older players come over and are exactly like that Messi. But we did like the Freddie Lumber again, like, you know, people like that at the beginning of the Sounders time. And I feel like the Sounders are going kind of younger now, but they still could use an international, you know, star, for lack of a better term. And maybe the World Cup will help with that. So I think it's great. Seattle's shining. And the biggest thing is the U.S. is on track. If things go well, I want to get your prediction to see if you think this will happen. So they've won Group D. It's already even before they play Turkey, right? And so they're going to have a round of 32 match, I think, in Santa Clara by you. And then that match should be theoretically a winnable match. We don't really know who it could be. I think there's places that give predictions, and like Bosnia is one of the highest potentials. They win that match. They have a round of 16 match on July 6th in Seattle. And that's pretty awesome. To have them come back to Seattle, I mean, it would be bananas. It already was.
God, I think I'm going to be in Seattle on July 6th.
Yeah, do you want to know what the get-in price is?
It's got to be 5,000.
3,200 is the cheapest ticket. Yeah, that's
I'm very
more than
sorry
the Super Bowl,
to
am I right?
No, I paid double for the Super Bowl ticket.
My God. Okay, you might want to cut that out of the podcast.
I paid double. Maybe I'll just say, I'll cut it out of the podcast.
You don't have to. I think it's quite entertaining for everybody.
Oh my God.
Teacher salary, never going to the Super Bowl. Okay, well, moving on. If you want to go to the U.S. game round of 16, hopefully they get there. Oh, this is what I was going to ask you before we move on. Where do you think the U.S., like, how far are they going to go, Kev?
God, they seem like a Sweet 16 team.
And then lose in that round in Seattle?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, brutal.
Do you feel like it's like someone was saying like home field advantage is really not as much of a thing in soccer as it is in other sports? Do you buy that? Like, I mean, compared to like football, right? Like football, there's a difference, right? For soccer,
it feels like in the
World
Cup, this is real.
Okay.
Like, it really feels like it's making them play harder. Like, the crowd is awesome.
Yeah.
I actually think in soccer, it does matter. And honestly, it's becoming less of a big deal in football and other sports. Like, teams are winning on the road in the playoffs all the time now. So, I don't know. It would be very cool. I just want to say, I don't want to be the downer here, but I'm going to be the downer. There's so much momentum about U.S. soccer. People are literally talking about, like, what if they won the World Cup? And I think everyone just needs to stop. Like, to quote Tim Howard, the U.S. is not winning the World Cup, and he played for the U.S. I honestly think even there's a path that a lot of people have talked about to get to the quarterfinals, the round of 8, that seems very doable. And I just think we're underestimating how good some of these teams are. And we just haven't played like great teams. Yeah. So, you know, if they got Ecuador in a round, everyone's like, well, Ecuador is not playing that well. Look at the U.S. I just think the U.S. was playing pretty poorly before the World Cup. So maybe we slower roll a little bit. However, my hope is they get to the round of 8 at least. And round of 8 is probably the realistic. And they get some momentum and they keep, you know, the manager for another cycle, and they can really start building a legitimate case to be, you know, a semifinalist or something moving forward. So that would be awesome, but we'll see. But Seattle will be hosting a round of 16. Hopefully the U.S. is there. Okay.
Wow.
Kev,
Cracking.
How was your Father's Day?
My Father's Day was good. We were in Santa Cruz, stone's throw away from San Jose.
Yeah.
You know, my boys can't do much for me yet, but that's Actually, they do a lot for me. They make me smile.
Wow,
which
Kev.
is all you
Keep
could
that
ask
in the podcast
on a Father's Day, right?
Yeah. Well, I could ask for gifts, but I just bought myself things. So I knew my kids wouldn't buy them for me. So I just spent money on myself on Father's Day.
There you go. That counts too.
I didn't even get a card for my kids. They barely said Happy Father's Day. They came home later in the day. They were gone. And one of them kind of remembered. One of them didn't. It's just kind of where we are now. So my Father's Day was made not by my children, but by the Seattle Kraken.
That was a transition.
Oh, yeah. I was going somewhere with this. Seattle Kraken made 2 big moves on Father's Day to celebrate me. Let's go with the first one. They made a trade, which was surprising, kind of came out of nowhere. They traded the 25th overall pick in the draft that happens on Friday and a 2027 conditional pick. It's it's the better of the pick between a Winnipeg Jets or Columbus Blue Jackets pick that the Kraken own. So they traded a first and a second, right? Not in the same year, for a great name, Maciej Samsovic. Samozovic. Sorry. Maciej.
Here's what we need to know.
Here's why I love it, Kev. Mackey's 23 years old. Okay. Buried on a Florida Panthers team that is absolutely loaded with talent, so didn't play a lot. I heard Lane Lambert on KJR today talking about it, and this is obviously I'm going to agree with the coach on this one, but I thought he nailed it. They're trading the 25th overall pick for a guy who was basically the 25th overall pick, but has already made it to the NHL and is 23. That's a great trade.
Yeah.
We get the guy who's already there, who you're not hoping gets there, right? But is in the NHL. Lambert said Maciej will be a top 6, meaning first or second line, which is what you hope. We'll see how he develops in Seattle when he gets a chance to play more. But I saw some people critiquing the pick, and I don't understand it. Like there's nothing about it that makes sense to me to critique. Like, you're going to get a 25th pick who's going to be some 17-year-old in Finland who then's going to come over for 4 years and you're going to wait for, who might be okay. Absolutely take the chance on the 23-year-old who has scored some goals in the NHL, played in a great franchise, and is apparently really fast with the puck. Yeah, absolutely take that chance.
You basically get someone that's further along.
Yes, but not right? 30, right?
Yeah, 23. Yeah, you're sticking with like the youth factor, right?
23 years old. So I think a critique is somebody just wanting to critique. Fun fact for you, Kev, and for others, Maciej was a teammate of Matty Beniers at Michigan. So they have some old chemistry, which will be interesting. We'll see if they play in the same line moving forward, but that was a big deal. I'll give you a quote real quick. This is what Jason Botterill, the general manager, said. I just love his age, love his speed, and I love his shot. So I think he'll fit in very well with the style of play we're trying to play on an everyday basis here. He's been to a Stanley Cup already. He had 12 goals and 20 assists last year, playing very few minutes compared to Kraken players because he's buried on a really good team. So it's awesome. Father's Day, you think wouldn't get better after Maciej, but then Bobby McMahon, who got traded to the Kraken last year, 30 years old, super fast, might have been my favorite player after the trade. Really loved watching Bobby McMahon play. Bobby McMahon re-signed in Seattle before he could hit free agency, which was a big deal. People seem to think around the league that if he got to free agency on July 1st, he would have gone for more than they signed him for. So they got him for basically $5.75 a year, 6-year deal, $34.5 million. He had 29 goals last year. Like, we need Bobby McMahon on this team. We don't have enough talent. So both of those things happened on Sunday, and I was very happy. It made my Father's Day.
Yeah. Well, so big picture, there's more to come then. We'll have the draft. Yeah, the draft is on Friday. They have the seventh. They have the 7th pick right now too, right? So they're going to get somebody good. There are rumors that they might trade it.
and they might package it even with Shane Wright maybe for a bigger name. I think maybe that's hopeful, wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But I heard this on the radio today, heard it on a podcast. Totally agree. The problem the Kraken have is everybody's playing a line higher than they should. So they need top talent and they don't have it. And it's really hard to get. But you might have to trade the 7th pick and a guy like Shane Wright to go get somebody who could be a top center for you or a winger. And I'm hoping something like that happens because otherwise they're going to be, at best in the wild card hunt, which would be great. But at worst, they're kind of the same as they were last year, which would be out of the playoffs. So
breaking news.
Oh,
Giannis is going to the Heat.
Whoa.
Let me read you the trade.
Please do. I want live reaction.
The Milwaukee Bucks.
This is perfect because we talked about NHL draft.
Yeah.
I did want to talk to you quickly about the NBA draft, which happens tomorrow. So this is great. Go.
Milwaukee Bucks are trading franchise icon Giannis
Antetokounmpo. Yep.
Okay. And Bobby Portis to the Miami Heat for Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and Kasparis Jakakunis.
Oh, that was the point guard I liked. Yeah.
3 first-round picks.
That's
including
a lot.
number 13 on Tuesday.
Oh.
So
the Bucks basically become the Heat without Bam Adebayo and without Eric Spoelstra, who's really good.
The Heat are sending to Milwaukee
players.
Unprotected first rounders in 2031 and 2033, along with number 13, a pick swap in 2030 and a 2033 second rounder.
So the picks must have been the deal because the other rumor was Jaylen Brown of the Celtics going to Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I think if I'm in Milwaukee, I'd take Jaylen Brown. He's an all-NBA player.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy. I mean, great. I hope Giannis makes the playoffs because it's weird that he wasn't in the playoffs this year.
I'm going to get crucified for not being able to pronounce his name.
Nah, you'll be fine. Hey, the local angle.
Sorry, go ahead.
The local angle of the draft, though, I wanted to talk to you about, which is great because this now the 13th pick is now not Miami. It's Milwaukee, right?
So is Hannes Steinbach going there?
So Steinbach is, ESPN has him going 14th to the Hornets, which would be a great place for him to play. That's a fun team. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
But he'd be in the mix at that range. Steinbach's in there. And then, we got to talk about one more player that's projected to go between picks 16 and 22, Kev.
Who?
It's my boy, Alan Graves.
Oh.
And if you don't know Alan
Santa
Graves
Clara's
on this podcast,
finest.
you need to understand that this would be another first-round pick coming out of the Santa Clara University. He's projected to go in the ESPN draft 19th to the Toronto Raptors.
He's so young. He's so going to be so raw.
I know.
I was literally just looking up to see if the Storm lost, and they did lose in overtime to the Wings.
Beautiful.
Your Seattle Storm are 3-15. I don't think they've won a game since we last talked.
That's perfect. It's perfect. Tankathon. Malunga was awesome.
Exciting tankathon.
And they lose. It's perfect. It's perfect. That was sold out tonight. Climate Pledge for Paige and AZ Fudd. That's pretty cool.
It's a pretty hot ticket. For the Valkyries game, the people, I mean, they've sold out every game, so it's not a surprise that they sold out that game. But people were talking, there's a lot of buzz around it and a great game. So the Wings are really watchable. If we did one of the Bill Simmons, they did the most watchable NBA teams, or they have the League Pass, whatever discussion.
Rankings, League Packers rankings.
Yeah, Dallas Wings would be up there for sure.
I like it.
Yeah.
Wow, that Giannis, that's crazy. That's a big one. I thought you were going to give me a Kraken breaking news trade.
No.
That would have been a little bit.
Yeah, the crazy thing about this breaking news trade is like I see that and I'm kind of like desensitized ever since the Luka trade happened.
Yeah,
like
nothing
we've seen it all.
match the
Luka.
Yeah,
yeah, we've seen it all.
It's true. Okay, let's talk about the Seattle sports unsung hero of the week. I was on TikTok, as I like to do sometimes at night. Part of my love language with my wife is I send her like 45 TikToks and then we watch them together. It's great. So I was watching one about Doug Baldwin and just like how awesome Doug Baldwin was. And the thing that really got me was, do you remember in the Super Bowl run, Chris Carter, former Vikings receiver who was a commentator on ESPN, called the Seahawks receivers pedestrian? And then Doug just talks to the camera and is like, you want pedestrian? Watch this, or whatever he did, like after he had 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl or whatever it was that happened.
Yeah.
And just his drive and he was so awesome. And I was overwhelmed by how awesome Doug Baldwin was. I just felt like we needed to appreciate him on the podcast for a second.
Yes. I mean, not even he's not been quiet off of the field either in retirement. Like he's involved heavily in Seattle politics and he's a huge advocate for social change and racial justice. Like he's taken on the mantle of using his name to do something worthwhile.
Yeah.
Off of the field. And so I commend him for that, right? It's not just having a business or having a charity. It's more than that. Like he's actually trying to do things.
Yeah.
So shout out.
Stanford education for you.
Angry Doug Baldwin. Yeah.
Angry Doug Baldwin.
Great point.
So Angry Doug Baldwin was definitely angry at Chris Carter. And just in case people forgot how good he was, he's 4th all-time in Seahawks history receptions and receiving yards. He's 3rd all-time in receiving touchdowns. I think he's 1st all-time in playoff touchdowns. Obviously, they had the best run while he was there. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler. He had 14 touchdown catches in 2015, which co-led the NFL that year. Doug Baldwin really had some incredible. He had a 94-catch season.
Yeah.
Tied Bobby Ingram.
We need to look at where he is in the top 100. I can't remember where he was placed.
Yeah, I know. Do we need to
he definitely
redo it?
made it. I think we need to have some type of discussion for our 100th episode. I'm still
I like that.
Going around with ideas of what we need to do for our 100th episode, but
we probably need.
Yeah, I think we do need to refresh it a little bit. Yeah, it's been 2 years, hasn't it?
I'm looking at it right now.
Our readership has grown, so more people can get angry at us. It's just
nobody's
so
reading
exciting.
my stuff because I don't write anything, but you write stuff. Let's find Doug Baldwin on here. 60th. That's pretty high.
Yeah, out of all the sports.
Yeah,
sounds right. Who's around him? Who are the people above him? And who are the people behind him?
So just Seahawks around him. I'll give you it first. Tyler Lockett's 58th, and Tyler Lockett beats him in almost all categories. In terms of like ranks all time, so that kind of makes sense. Jim Zorn is right below him at 61. Michael Sinclair at 62. But other sports figures around him, Brett Boone is 63, below Doug Baldwin. Freddie Montero, 59, above Doug Baldwin. I don't know. Might change that. Who's a 2-time MLS All-Star, 3rd in goals in Sounders history. I could put Doug Baldwin above him. Nico Ladero is 57. That was a hot topic on our top 100. And there's some people who think we were 40 to 50 spots off on that one. Shrimp 56, Nelson Cruz 55, Cano 54.
I mean, I think in that range,
kind of feels like the right place.
Yeah, you could make the argument that he belongs higher than those guys. That's a beautiful thing about the top.
If you want to rank winning bigger, right? Yeah, and he's a big part of winning, then he should go above Cruz and Cano in some ways because
for sure
they didn't win, as much as they were awesome. So.
And Lockett too, right? Like Lockett never made it as far as Doug Baldwin.
That is true. That is true. So shout out to Doug Baldwin, angry Doug Baldwin. You can come on this podcast anytime. But
by the way, who had it on their bingo card that Tyler Lockett would be in the NFL longer than Russell Wilson? Although I don't know if Lockett makes an NFL team this year.
Yeah.
I think he was on the Raiders last season.
That'd be hard.
So we'll see.
He might not be longer. Did Russ get drafted before him?
Yeah, Russ was 2012. Lockett was 2015. I think
so
he came
Russ
right
did
after
make it longer then.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I mean is that like
that
you'd think
Tyler
that
would still be playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the wild. That is crazy. Russ, CBS Sports. Here we go. Okay. There's no good segue for this, Kev, but I wanted to promote you / quiz you.
Yeah.
So here's what I got for a top 5 this week. We haven't really talked about football much. Hard Knocks is coming. Seahawks training camp is on July 24th. That's not that far away. We'll have episodes before then. Not with the city of Renton, but we'll have episodes. Husky football, your favorite sport in the world is coming. You love it more than anything. You are definitively one of 3 Husky insiders in the city of Seattle. It's like Christian Capel, somebody else, and you. Yeah.
By the way, there's going to be a commitment soon.
Okay. Well, that's perfect segue, Kev.
There you go. Boom.
Name the 5 players who 247 Sports have as a 90 or above that are committed to the Huskies in 2027.
Oh man, you're really gonna.
I mean, you write about it, Kev. You got to know it.
Yeah. 247. This is good because I
agree. I think it's great.
skew towards rivals. So let's go.
Oh, okay. These are basically the 5 best recruits coming in the class of 2027.
So
wait, can we give context before we start? I'll give you a chance to think as you talk.
Yeah.
247 has them ranked 26th in the country. Does that seem low compared to other places for that year?
Yeah, I think Rivals had them at 19, but they got a commitment on Saturday, and I don't know where that. It was a blue chip guy, so I don't know where that put them. But obviously,
I can go to Rivals if you want.
Low.
I can go to Rivals.
Rivals team rankings. I don't know if you can.
They got them 22nd, so a little higher.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see if the names are the same here for these 2. Nope, there's a little different name. So I'll use Rivals because you go on that more. We'll go Rivals. Top 5 commits for the Huskies via Rivals.
Got 4-star quarterback Blake Roscoff.
Blake Roscoff is number 1 on Rivals, but on 247, he is the 3rd best recruit for the Huskies.
Yeah, it's so interesting, right? Trey Moore out of Weiss in Texas.
Number 1. Well, they're all the same, but on 247, he is also a 90. On Rivals, he's the 2nd best recruit. Wide receiver.
Yeah.
6'3", 215 from Texas. Anytime you're getting Texas receiver, things are going well.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay, you're 2 for 2.
Anytime, let's go Braylon Pope out of Sumner High School.
You're crushing it. Number 3 on there. He's a 6'2.5" from Sumner. Played Sumner's women's basketball a couple weeks ago. Very good.
Sumner is just a big school, right?
They're awesome.
Oh God. Okay. I think Tavita Nonu.
Boom.
Out of
number
O'Day.
4. You were just you are a Husky insider from O'Day, the O'Day High School.
Yeah.
You got one more.
He's really good.
You've done them in order also. This is impressive.
Have I actually done them in order?
Yes.
That's incredible. Okay, so there's one more blue chip guy. Let's just go by. Okay, so it could be the running back.
Can I, before you go, I'm going to let you think.
Yeah.
Okay? On Dogman /247, they have a different player. They're separated by 1. So they have a player at 90, and they're the person who... They have a couple people in different spots who are like 89s. They have a guy at 90, but on 3, which is Rivals, they have a different guy. Anyway, doesn't matter.
This is so tough because there's a 4-star that got committed, and I don't know where they placed him. I know the running back's in 89, so I'm not going to go with the running back. Jeremy Adeyanju out of Sandra Day O'Connor.
Very good.
Yeah, he's not in the top 5.
Also, Sandra Day O'Connor High School, great high school name. Just a legend.
Yeah. Okay. God, this is really hard. Not the safety.
I think you can get it.
Not one of the. Is it another receiver? Who are the 4 receivers? It's Pope, Moore. Who's the last receiver? Oh, he just committed. Oh my God.
I thought you were an insider.
Oh my God. I'm not going to get it.
It's not a receiver.
It's not a receiver. Okay.
The receiver is the one who in the other rankings is included. His name is Dante Tyson.
There you go.
He's very, very close. So I could even give it to you if you had said him, but you didn't. So there's somebody else you're missing who I think you probably know. You've just forgotten. He's ranked in the top 5 in both sites.
It's a blue chip guy. We don't have any.
Big recruit.
UW doesn't have any O linemen.
Nope.
It's not on the defensive line. It's not an edge.
Is it not on the defensive line, Kev?
God, who is it? I'm blanking. I'm not going to get it.
6'3", 295 from Tustin, California.
Oh, John Ione.
Yeah, there
you know
go.
He plays quarterback.
He does? Oh, my God.
He plays quarterback.
Can you
for
imagine
their
a
team.
6'3", 295 guy playing quarterback? That's scary.
You should watch the tape. It is incredible.
Well, I might have to do that before we get to the football season.
Thanks for quizzing me. That's a great quiz. They have the final. They had their final official visit. I don't have to report on recruiting. Well, there's going to be like 2,000 commitments, but
this is why I had to bring it up.
No more visits.
If you want to know more about Husky recruiting and the fact that they're a top 25 nationally ranked recruiting class for 2027, then you can go read Kevin's stuff. He's got it on the site all the time. I think in 2026, Kev, they ended up pretty good, right? Didn't they?
Ended up like 13 or something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, they added like 2 4-stars at the very end. I don't know.
Which is probably where we should get to our conversation. They have 13th on
Dogman.
Overall in the country, right? Yeah, some real interest. Wow, Gavin Day's photo is funny. He's got like a weird hat on. Cody Green, very exciting. Probably going to start, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited about Brian Bonner. I'm hoping he plays, but we'll see. Derek Coleman Bruce, however you say his name.
Yeah.
Probably starting.
Beast. Yeah.
Right? Just like they have some dudes who you're going to want to know their names quickly. So if you come to the Wait for It Seattle podcast, you're going to hear all about the Huskies very soon. Husky football.
Yeah. Go Dogs. Go Mariners. Go Team USA.
No top 5 from Kevin to me this week.
No, I don't have a top 5.
So sad. You want to go through the top 5 Mariners starting pitchers? Well, that can be our ranking. Since they have 6, that'll be our nice sandwich on the day.
Actually, do it. Just do it.
Okay.
Number 1.
Actually, let's do it this way.
Yeah.
If you had to commit long term,
oh God,
put them in order, top 5. So this is a real conversation.
Yeah.
Right? They're gonna have to pay some of these guys.
Yeah.
See if you agree with me. Woo's my number 1.
I disagree. I'd put Gilbert number 1.
Okay, I'll go Gilbert too. So I would pay Woo first, Gilbert second, Bryce Miller third, Kirby 4. Hancock 5.
You really don't believe in Hancock? Yeah, I think Hancock could have jumped Kirby.
I'm not paying Hancock based on 10 starts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I get that Bryce Miller's only had one full good year, but Bryce Miller is so good right now.
Yeah, he is.
I think he should be on the All-Star team.
It's really nicely.
He should be on the All-Star team. I think he and Gilbert should make the All-Star team this year.
Yeah, well, we need to get Rosarena in there.
We need to get a full lineup tomorrow in Pittsburgh when people listen to this. And thank God we're not facing Paul Skeens, and hopefully we come home with some dubs.
Yeah. Go USA. Do they play this week?
They play Thursday against Turkey in a meaningless game.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are they playing for anything? But there's nothing.
They're playing for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. So do they just play all the bench guys, however many they have?
We'll see if Christian Roldan gets in the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about it next week.
Yeah. All right. All right. See you next week for episode
100.
CN. All right. Talk to you next week.